Juan Valdez Café. Juan Valdez is a company that has had a great evolution in the years it has been operating. Its brand and products have also been in constant growth. This company already has 318 stores in Colombia and 138 stores abroad. Likewise, it operates in different markets and implements new commercial, market, and operations strategies within the company. It has generated different opportunities and additionally allowed them to obtain a great growth. The purpose of Juan Valdez Café is to position itself as the Colombian premium coffee brand in current and potential markets. This brand is already in large markets, as Canada is our target country. The direct competitors of Juan Valdez franchises will mainly be Blends, Second Cup, Tim Hortons, Van Hoods, and Starbucks. The great difference and competitive advantage that Juan Valdez has is that Colombian coffee provides a guarantee of supply. The type of entry mode that Juan Valdez Café uses is through franchises. They develop it as an integral part of their growth strategy. Since February 2011, ProCafé Col launched an expansion program through international franchises. This model aims to increase our global presences in order to share the best Colombian coffee with consumers around the world. Since 2012, Juan Valdez franchises are part of the International Franchise Association. The IFA accredits experts in the franchise industry and endorses the service present by the institutions that belong to the association. 1 year after the creation of its franchise model, ProCafé Col gained membership of the IFA. In 2012, ProCafé Col had 154 Juan Valdez stores nationwide and 48 at international locations, and the 81% of stores in the country were located in the city of Bogota. Juan Valdez had 3 types of strategically located stores that were designed in order to attract a different type of clientele and potential demand. The express stores were located on islands, shopping centers, office buildings, universities, and hospitals. The Barra shopping stood at local malls and medium locations. Finally, shops terraces placed on high-traffic corners with stores that were bigger than the other 2 situations presented. Benefits: experience in the sector of more than 50 years, know-how proven and successful in the market, responsibility and commitment to the coffee sector. In fact, it's precisely this commitment that makes that franchise different. Support and continuous training for the franchise. It's located in a sector with constant growth when dealing with highly consumed products. Cost of royalties 7% on gross sales. Marketing support reinvested in the brand locally 2% on gross sales. Entry fees $150,000 and $350,000. Risk: that your brand is misused by the franchise. Resistance to the payment of royalties, informal granting of the franchise. Decentralization: for the use of said brand, the Federation has imposed certain conditions and requirements on ProCafé Col, which include the payment of royalties for brand use, contractual obligations, and authorization for use, which are extended to potential franchises, whose profile must also meet certain requirements.
Infrastructure analysis. Canada has an extraordinary shipping, air, and ground transportation system, and the national airport system is composed of international, regional, local, small, remote, and Arctic bases. Canada has very good connections between its cities and with other cities of the United States. Canadians' goods distribution network is highly centralized due to low population density, long distances, and extreme weather conditions. It also has a distributor that works in the eastern area and other that works in the western part of the country. Distribution barriers. The entry of products and services into Canada must meet very strict requirements. Health, environmental protection, product safety, and efficiency are key considerations for import approval. Before sending any goods, you must take into account the current regulation on packaging, labeling, transport, instructions for use, and quantities for the considerations of samples, wholesale handling, and storage and exhibition. This should be reviewed in advance by importers and checked against the relevant ministry. This will ensure compliance with the legal aspects for the marketing of the product. Likewise, the Canadian consumer highly values the quality of the product and its composition. It's very demanding with the sales and after-sales service. These considerations are very important for those who want to export successfully to Canada.
First of all, we are going to talk about the production process of coffee. First, it's required to pick coffee. The process of picking starts when plant achieves 10 meters of height. Harvest is done annually. Harvest can be done by picking or stripping. In the first option, it selects coffee manually when it's mature, or stripping is when the process is machined and all fruit is picked. Later, it's necessary to process the coffee in order to eliminate the cherry pulp that coffee has. In Juan Valdez, the method to do that changes depending on the region that coffee grows. Later, the cure, its principal function is to eliminate the skin that coats the grain. This part of the process is essential for export because it classifies according to its size and quality. Later, we have tasting and toasting. They are fundamental for examining the quality and flavor that coffee has. In toasting, coffee is subdued to high temperatures. For that reason, coffee obtains its flavor and scent. Ground for Juan Valdez is a process that happens sometimes, because remember that Juan Valdez offers grain coffee and ground coffee. In this part of the process, coffee is reduced to powder. At the final to this process, coffee is boiled in sacks and transported to a special article conditioned to preserve the product, since coffee is a special product that needs to be consumed in the West. To transport this product to other countries, the product needs to be in a metal box to avoid whatever damage in it. In the exportation process, Juan Valdez needs to have Thing of National Exporters of Coffee, certification of coffee grain contribution. This is a pay depending on the amount of coffee that company is going to export. Certification of weight. This action is necessary when products go for cheap. And finally, traffic guide. In addition, Juan Valdez needs to have a certification of exportation, that is in BIMA. And for agricultural produce, Juan Valdez must have a phytosanitary certification. When Juan Valdez have all these documents, we choose a means of transport. Canada is too home to Colombia and coffee is extremely sensitive, so it's better to choose a plane for transporting the product.
Among these factors, they were analyzed to establish the feasibility of export coffee by the Juan Valdez Company. There is the political, economical, and social stability of the countries, free treaties, current trade with Colombia that favors customs taxes, coffee consumption within the country, marketing prices, competition of the sector, among others, thus establishing that Canada is a country suitable to start the export processes for Juan Valdez, as the company currently has buyers in different countries, but it is clear that exporting to some countries represents greater risks for instability within economies, while the country, like Canada, is seen as a potential consumer. Canadian regulations to take into account. As soon as the merchandise leaves Colombian territory and goes to enter international waters and then heading to Canada, certain regulations begin to be required.
All products that enter into Canadian territory must be declared before the Customs and Prosecutors Office of Canada, an agency that are in charge of Canada's taxes, trade and border laws. Goods and products in almost all cases are released immediately when it is presented certain minimum of documents. The importer, within a period of a few days, must present the final customs documents and pay all taxes and levies due. Exporters can easily expedite the release of goods or products by supplying their Canadian customers with any information or documentation requested by Canadian Customs. Requirements. Some of the documents required for export to Canada are Bill of Landing or Air Transport Letter, Pro Forma Invoice, Commercial Invoice, Origin Certificate. Canadian Customs requires a certificate of origin to establish the origin of manufacture and to calculate the corresponding customs duties. Packing list sometimes is required to complement the commercial invoice. Sanitary or other inspection certificates may be required for certain types of products entering Canada, such as plants, seeds, animals, pharmaceuticals, nursery, plants, and meat. Export permits issued by government of the exporter, such as the permit to import endangered species.